Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share something that happened to me a while back. How to handle disappointment from your spouse. That's when your spouse, your husband or your wife disappoints you. How do you handle it? My husband did something that really hurt me. I know that this is something that happens amongst couples, so I decided to share it and talk about it with you guys. So 2 years ago on his birthday, I decided to surprise him by making a platter. So I made a platter. I made a yummy, delicious platter that I wanted to take to his office so that at least he could eat and just make merry with his colleagues at work. I finished making the platter, I packaged it. I'll be putting up a picture of it for you guys to see the yummy, delicious platter that I made for this man. So I finished making the platter, I packaged it, and I set out to go to his office with my sister. And now, being that my husband's office is a place that you can't just go in, you need an authorization, or yes, you need an authorization, something like that. So as we got close to his office, I didn't have any choice than to call him. If he was working in a place that I don't need any form of authorization, he would just see me, I would just land in his office. But I needed to call him to let him know, CEO, I'm close to your office and they will have to let me in and all that and all that. He asked me what was I coming to do in his office. And I told him that I'm bringing something for him, that today is his birthday now, so that I have a surprise for him, that I'm coming with a platter, you know. I was like, no, I shouldn't come with anything, that I should please just take it back home, that he cannot receive anything in the office, at the office that day, that I should just go home, that I should just take it home, that when he comes back home, that he will see it. Guys, I was so upset. I'm like, who even sent me? I shouldn't have bothered, because the whole aim had been defeated. I made this platter because I wanted to take it to his office for him to eat with his colleagues. That is the whole essence. So why will I make a platter and then I'll keep it back in the house, and when he now comes back he'll eat it? What's the point now? I would have just made something for him to eat. Now when he comes back from work, he'll eat. That's how I had to go home. I went home with the platter, I just dropped it at the dining table, and my husband did not even come back home early that day. So at the time he came back from work, I had gone to bed. I had gone to bed with the kids. When your husband hurts you, or when you're disappointed at something that they did, or when your wife hurts you, how do you handle? How do you communicate? So I have a few points that I would be sharing. So sit back and let's dive right into it. The very first way of handling disappointment is open communication. Like from my experience and about the story I just shared, when that thing happened, I was angry, I was hurt, but like I said, I didn't lash out. So what did I do? I think it was the early morning of the next day that I brought it up, and I told him what you did was not nice. This was supposed to be a surprise. That was why I went all out to surprise you, and you just turned me down like that. That was so unfair, and that I was really hurt. You communicate in a relaxed way. You choose your words. Yes, you were hurt, but that doesn't mean that when you're communicating, or when you're trying to talk about your anger, or when you're trying to communicate your feelings about what your spouse did that you do not like, that you become disrespectful or you start using insultive words. You can subtly, is it subtly or subtly? You can subtly communicate and talk about what hurt your feelings in a respectful manner, in a relaxed manner, and when the environment is right. And that way your partner will be able to listen to you and hear what you have to say. So I told him everything. I told him that I really did not like what he did. I was not cool at all. While you're saying whatever it is that you want to say that hurt you, do not go into blame. Avoid bringing up, I blame you for the way I reacted, I blame you for insulting you, I blame you for disrespecting you. No, you don't do that. You're trying to communicate how you feel about being hurt. So you don't have to start blaming him. You don't have to say, oh no, you did this because of what he did. That was why you did that. That does not make sense. We are all responsible for our actions, no matter the trigger. So you don't just go about, I am blaming you, it is because of what you did, it is because of how you disappointed me, how you just made a mess of my effort, that was why I insulted you. No, you don't do that. You don't even come up with the blame game. Just trash it and leave it one corner and just communicate in a civilized manner and like an adult. All right? After you're done communicating your feelings, how hot you were and everything, it's now time for you to listen, because for every action there is a reason. Do you get me? So it's time for you to listen. So when I finished talking to my husband about my hurt, when I finished telling him how I did not like what he did, it was now time for him to explain himself on why he had to tell me to take the platter back home. And I listened actively. You know, remember, you have to listen. Don't listen to attack, or listen to have something else to say or counter attack. You just listen because that's the right thing to do. And he gently explained to me that that day was a very busy day at work. His director was going from one office to the another. They had a lot to do, that it was just not a good time to start receiving that kind of stuff in the office, that the time was not right at all. And he now apologized, that he is very, very sorry, that it was unintentional, that it was just a bad timing at work, and that I should understand that he is not the owner of his time when he's at work, because he's answerable to his superiors, so he cannot dictate how things are going to be at work. And that day happened to be one of the days where things were just so busy that accepting such gifts would not just make sense, and that was why he had to tell me to take it home. You know, and that made sense, and I saw reasons why he actually turned me down. While you're listening attentively, also try to understand the reason behind the action. Does that make sense? Also try to understand the reason behind why your spouse did what they did that ended up hurting you, or that made you disappointed in them. So when you know your spouse, or when you know the person you're dealing with, and you know the kind of things that they like and what they do not like, that would guide you in doing some things. Even if you like all the fanfare, even if you like all those kind of stuff, but if your partner is somebody that doesn't like that kind of thing, then it's just good to set realistic expectations and don't indulge in them. And then also learn to manage your expectations, because we need to give our spouses the benefit of the doubt, and we need to manage our expectations when it comes to anybody, be it our spouses, be it our family. Learn to manage your expectations with human beings in general. That way you will not get up being hurt. When you learn how to manage your expectations with people, trust me, when people do some things, or when they exhibit some kind of character or some kind of trait, you won't get so mad. So set realistic expectations and learn to manage your expectations. And another important thing is forgiveness. Now, because of that thing that happened, I remember telling myself, I'm not going to go all out to do anything like that anymore for my husband, or try to surprise him, because like I said, my husband does not even like surprises, so why continue? But that doesn't mean that I've not forgiven him for what he did, right? Or that I'm still referring to what he did. Of course, I've forgiven him. You have to forgive. You have to forgive, because if you don't forgive, you can't move on. You have to forgive, you have to let go, so that you can move on. So you forgive and you let go. If it's something that you would not want to do again, by all means don't. But that does not mean that you've not forgiven. But assuming my husband is someone that likes surprises, but that one didn't work out well, and now because of what happened, I now decided that I will never ever want to surprise him again, and then I'm sticking to my words. That means I've actually not forgiven him about that thing that happened. That is the meaning. Do you get? But being that he does not even like surprises, that is why I have not tried to surprise him since after that incident. But if your spouse is someone that likes surprises and then that kind of thing happen, you should just forgive, you should just move on, let go. But then when you can, and if you can, still come up with another surprise for him or her, and I'm sure that they will truly appreciate it. So another thing is to focus on solutions instead of dwelling on what happened. Find ways to just focus on the solution and find ways to improve your relationship. If you keep talking about what happened in the past, you're going to stay in the past and you cannot move forward. Do you get me? So you just have to focus on the present, focus on finding solution, have a discussion with him. Okay, assuming next time if you want to do something like this, how do I go about it? Do you think it's something I should try again in the future? Is this something you would be receptive of? And I hear him. If he says no, see, the way my office is, that kind of stuff can't really work, then now you know, so that you don't go again tomorrow to go and do something similar again, and then you end up shooting yourself on the foot because he will not still be open to receive it. But if he tells you, oh, next time it doesn't, you can give me a hint, even if it's meant to be a surprise, and I can actually tell you, okay, on the so day or on the birthday we can do this, or he can even suggest something else. Or you can even like just hear from him because you want to find a solution, so that next time when you want to surprise him or her, you do something else, or you think of something else to do. It will not be taking a platter to his office or surprising him at his place of work. It can be something else. It can even be something you plan and do in the house, and when he comes back from work, he'll just meet the surprise at home. Do you get? So it's good to talk about it, find solutions, and move on. Because see, in marriage, these are like some of the little things. They say it's the little physics that spoils the anus. So when some things are not handled properly, it breeds resentment. It breeds resentment and rancor. And when resentment builds over time between a couple, it is very, very dangerous, because it would lead to strife. It would lead to so many things. So these are the things, these are some of the things that if not handled properly in a relationship, it can lead to something else. Imagine if this thing had happened to someone else that was not as chilled as I was, or someone else that frets about over every little thing, or someone else that is hot-tempered. The reaction would have been different, and the reaction could have also made the husband to react in another different way. It could have gone south. It could have gone south, right? So I just came here to share how I handled a disappointment that I got from my husband, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this topic. Thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for watching to the end. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Till I see you next time. Bye.